All right, let's jump right in. We're tackling one of the biggest questions in e-commerce today. Is getting into Amazon FBA still a smart move in 2026? I mean, with all the competition, the rising costs, is it even worth it? We're going to dig into the real data to find out.
So yeah, here it is, the big question. Is the Amazon FBA gold rush officially over? You hear about it all the time, right? You see the success stories, but then you also hear the whispers that it's just too crowded, too expensive, that you kind of miss the boat. But what do the actual numbers tell us?
Okay, so the short answer, based on all the data, is a pretty clear yes. But, and this is a huge but, it comes with some major conditions. This is not some get-rich-quick thing. It's a real business, and you got to be strategic, you got to be smart about your costs, and you absolutely have to know how the platform works. So, first, let's talk about the good stuff. Why are people still flocking to this model? Let's look at the data behind FBA's potential and see what makes it so incredibly powerful, even now when things are more competitive. Check this out. This number is so important. Even with all the chatter about saturation, the data shows that the majority of sellers, we're talking over 63%, are actually profitable. Think about that. This isn't a 50-50 shot. It means if you do it right, success isn't just possible, it's actually the most likely outcome. And this chart, it shows you what that profitability actually looks like in real-world dollars. That biggest slice of the pie, almost half of all sellers, is pulling in between $1,000 and $10,000 every single month. And look, a solid 27% are making more than 10 grand a month. This gives you a really clear, realistic picture of what's possible. But revenue is just one part of the equation. Profit is what actually lands in your bank account. And this is crucial because the business model you choose totally changes your profit potential. See that top line, private label, that's when you create your own brand, has the best margins, often between 22 and 32%. There's a big reason why it's such a popular way to go. So what's the secret sauce behind all of this? Well, it's the FBA system itself. You're not just getting a web page. You are tapping into Amazon's entire global logistics machine. I mean, you get instant access to over 200 million Prime members who are ready to buy and expect that fast, free shipping. Plus, using FBA gives you a huge leg up in winning the buy box. That's the little add to cart button where most sales happen. Amazon handles all the packing, shipping, returns, the customer service. That level of automation is how a single person can build a business that scales like a massive company. All right, so we've seen the incredible upside, but look, to make a smart decision, we have to be real and look at the other side. So it is time for a reality check. Let's unpack the actual costs and the challenges you're going to face with FBA. Yep, that's the question, isn't it? What's the catch? Because all that amazing convenience and access, well, it doesn't come free. To succeed on Amazon, you have to navigate this really complex world of fees, intense competition, and platform rules that can honestly eat away at your profits fast if you're not paying close attention. And these are the big ones for 2026. Costs are going up on two fronts: what you pay Amazon to handle and store your stuff, and what you have to pay in ads just to get noticed. On top of that, you're really playing in Amazon sandbox by their rules. That means you give up some control, and you're always at risk of them changing a policy or, worst case, suspending your account. And this slide right here really shows one of the biggest pain points for sellers: ads. The average cost for a single click has jumped from just under $1 to $1.35 in only 2 years. That is a massive increase. It means you have to be way smarter with your advertising budget to keep your business profitable. Okay, to make this all super clear, let's just follow the money on a typical product. All these fees and percentages can feel a little abstract, so we're going to break down exactly where every dollar goes for a simple product that sells for $30. Okay, let's walk through this. Your product costs you $8 to get made. Then Amazon takes $5 to fulfill it. Their referral fee, that's 15%, so that's another $4.50. You spend about $3 on ads to make the sale and another 75 cents on storage. So at the end of the day, from that $30 sale, you walk away with $8.75. Now, that's a healthy margin, almost 30%, but you can see how easily those fees could spiral if you're not careful. You have got to track every single penny. So we know the pros and we know the cons. The next logical question is, who's actually winning this game in 2026? Let's stop talking about problems and start talking about solutions. Here is the blueprint for what a successful FBA seller really looks like today. First things first, you need money to make money. This isn't a business you can start with $100 anymore. The data shows that a realistic startup budget for a private label brand is somewhere between $3,500 and $7,000. That's what you'll need for your first batch of inventory, your branding, and of course, the ad budget to actually get things moving.
And, FBA is not a one-size-fits-all deal. It is an amazing tool for private label sellers building a brand or for wholesalers moving lots of product. But if you're selling stuff with really thin margins or maybe custom handmade items or things that are just big and bulky, the fee structure can make it a really, really tough path to profit. Picking your niche is also just absolutely critical. The data shows that the real sweet spots are in categories with stable, consistent demand. Think about it. Home and kitchen, pet supplies, baby products, these consistently have great profit margins. These are things people need and buy all year round, not just trendy items that fade out. Now, on the flip side, there are some categories that are just notoriously difficult. Electronics and fashion have crazy high return rates. The supplement world is super saturated and has a ton of regulations. And phone accessories, it's just an incredibly overcrowded market. Staying away from these can save you a world of trouble. All right, we've gone through the good, the bad, and the blueprint for success, so it's time to put it all together. What is the final verdict? What's the one thing you should walk away with? So is FBA worth it in 2026? The answer is yes, absolutely. If this sounds like you, if you have the startup capital, if you're willing to do deep product and niche research, if you're ready to manage your ad costs and margins like a hawk, if you use data to make your decisions, and maybe most importantly, if your goal is to build a real, long-term brand, not just to sell a one-off product. Now, for anyone who feels like this is the right path but wants some expert help, the source of our data today, an agency called StarterX, actually helps people with this whole process. They suggest booking a free consultation call to get started on the right foot. And that's a wrap. You now have the data-driven picture of Amazon FBA in 2026, the good, the bad, and the strategies that are actually working. So now the real question isn't for me, it's for you. You have the data. Is FBA your next move?